Did you know India once had a king who was called Devaputra, the son of God? Why would a ruler take such a powerful title? When a king is honored as Devaputra, the son of God, what responsibility does that place on his shoulders? क्या आप जानते हैं भारत में कभी एक राजा था जिसे देवपुत्र कहा जाता था? सोचिए, एक शासक इतना शक्तिशाली उपाधि क्यों लेगा? और जब एक राजा को देवपुत्र के रूप में सम्मानित किया जाता है, तो वह उसके कंधों पर क्या जिम्मेदारी डालता है? Looking for these answers? Stay tuned and watch this episode till the end. Welcome, my name is Sukhpreet Singh Gyani and you're watching the channel Unfiltered Book Talk. No spoilers, just the core review, the raw, honest truth about books. If it is on my shelf, it's getting a straightforward review. Let's talk about books. In the last episode from the book The Golden Road, How Ancient India Transformed the World by William Dalrymple, we covered the chapter 3 titled The Great King, King of Kings, Son of God, and we addressed the highlights the Kushan dynasty. Today also our focus is on the same chapter, but we journey back to the age of one of India's most remarkable rulers, a man who was not just a king but a visionary. His empire expanded, his ideas connected, and his legacy lives on even today. I speak of King Kanishka, celebrated in the history as the great king, king of kings, son of God. Kanishka, one of the greatest emperors of the Kushan Empire, he is known as a warrior, a visionary, and a global connector. His empire stretched from the mountains of Gandhara to Mathura's busy streets. Kanishka's empire was full of life and stories. But Kanishka just didn't want to rule the land. He wanted to rule hearts. But why was he called Devaputra? He took the title Devaputra, son of God, in an attempt to show that he was not just a king but an heavenly authority. He took the title Devaputra, son of God. The question rises, why? Was he trying to show that he was not just a king but an heavenly authority? William Dalrymple explains in this part of the chapter that the Kanishka himself wanted people to believe that because the gods choose him, then who can question him?
If the
Smart
gods
move,
chose him,
right?
who could question
The
him?
Kushans had a strong cultural and political interaction with China, and the Chinese emperors used the title Tainzi, that is to say, son of heaven, which inspired Kanishka to adopt a similar divine title to elevate his status. So Dalrymple यहाँ पे सजेस्ट करते हैं कि कनिष्का को सिर्फ एक राजा बनना नहीं था, उसे चाहिए थी पावर, रादर पावर्स, पॉलिटिकल भी एंड स्पिरिचुअल भी. वो चाहता था कि लोग उसे एक राजा से भी आगे ट्रीट करें, उस विश्वास से उसकी बात माने कि खुद देवताओं ने ही उसे चुना है। अगर राजा को ऊपर वाला सपोर्ट करता है तो फिर उसके रास्ते में कौन आ सकता है? नाउ, as discussed in the previous episode, during his time the Silk Road was booming. India, China, and Rome were all connected. And they were connected for business, exchange of idea, and spread of religion. सोचिए, imagine monks, merchants, artists all traveling together. आज की दुनिया में क्या कोई रोड ऐसी है जो कल्चर्स को इतनी खूबसूरती से जोड़ती हो? Does any road today connect cultures like that? Dalrymple यहां पे हमें बताते हैं कि कनिष्का loved new ideas, and from this passion came Gandhara art. Now, Gandhara art was a combination of Greek and Indian styles. And Gandhara art is remembered for history being created by art. Now, Gandhara art is where India and the world came together to create beauty. It gave Buddha a human form, filled with peace, compassion, and grace. So, this was a perfect fusion of Greek style and Indian spirituality. डार्लिंपल यहाँ कहते हैं कि हर मूर्ति जो उस टाइम पे क्रिएट की गई एक मैसेज देती थी, और वो मैसेज था हार्मनी, क्रिएटिविटी और कल्चरल एक्सचेंज का. गंधार आर्ट प्रूव्स दैट व्हेन कल्चर्स मीट, हिस्ट्री बिकम्स रिचर एंड ब्राइटर. और कनिष्का का बुद्धिज्म के साथ एक अटूट नाता बताया जाता है. Though Kanishka came from Central Asian traditions, he became a great supporter of Buddhism. It is said that in Kashmir of that times, he organized what is called as Buddhist council. Great monks debated the future of religion there. Think of it. A warrior king helping a peaceful faith grow. Now, another important aspect was his coins. हमने पहले भी डिस्कस किया in the last episode. They showed gods from many cultures: Greek, Persian, Indian. His message was clear. His message was not only to make his coins acceptable over a large market, but this was a deliberate statement. And that statement was, Kanishka wanted to say that his rule was sanctioned by gods across cultures, making him a universal king. In other words, वो कहीं पे यूनिटी थ्रू डाइवर्सिटी भी प्रमोट कर रहे थे. At the same time, Kanishka was the first Kushan ruler to mint coins with images of Buddha. This was revolutionary. Coins were not just economic instrument, but also vehicles of religious messaging. By placing Buddha alongside other gods on these coins, Kanishka elevated Buddhism to the same divine plane as other traditions. Kanishka's rule was not merely about conquest. It was about transformation. He tried bridging many cultures. He nurtured spiritual thoughts and elevated India's place on the world stage. His story is not just history, it is a mirror reflecting what any nation can achieve when courage meets vision. And he did that exactly for India. William Dalrymple says King Kanishka's story is not just about the past, it is about the future we can build. Kanishka showed us that India's greatness lies in courage, in wisdom, and in openness to the world. विलियम डारलिम्पल यहाँ पे एक बात और कहते हैं. He says Kanishka's empire may have faded, but his vision endures even today. Let us remember Kanishka, the great king, king of kings, son of God. Let us carry forward this legacy of unity, culture, and spiritual light. The, the question is not whether India was great once. The question is, are we ready to make it great again? With the same courage, the same vision, and the same belief in the power of ideas. The answer lies not in the history books, but in us, says a Scottish writer who resides in Delhi, William Dalrymple. So tell me, Kanishka कौन था? Who was Kanishka? A conqueror? A spiritual leader? A bridge between worlds? A king ruling earth and heaven? William Dalrymple, in his own sweet way, invites us to think, rather, I would say, rethink Indian history and reminds us some kings don't just rule, they create a golden age. Please do subscribe to the channel, like the video, share it, and share your comments, as your comments only make us do better.